What up, everybody? It's Squish back with another banger here today. We got a New World Mage guide for you. I did on our stream, twitch.tv/squishy_guts. You can find all the main content up there, but you can also find content here on the YouTube channel. So don't forget to like, subscribe, thumbs up, or all that YouTube stuff. Anyways, let's get into the video. See ya. Yeah, let's talk Mage guides, huh? Let's talk Mage builds. I'd like to go over 3 of these. I'm a mage. Or I should say, intelligence is my main stat in the game. I love all the intelligence builds. That's where I'm going to be living. And there's 3 different builds that I think are just so fun and so amazing. I think you guys are going to like these. So first of all, let's just talk about the stats really quick. This is really going to be the same for all 3 of these builds. So let's just do that first. So the main thing you really want to work with builds is you have these perks when you reach milestones. There is something that's critical to shoot for in an intelligence-based build. This 200-point mile marker right here, crucial. Plus 10 mana after a dodge. And this is 10 mana here. That's not 100% correct. This is 10% mana, to be clear. This is 10% mana. Every time you dodge, you gain 20%, or you gain 10% mana. So if you guys know how to animation cancel your dodge rolls, you can get 20 mana really, really quick. Just roll, animation cancel, roll. If you're really good at timing it, you can even get 3 of them in there by letting the stamina bar go just slightly above 50% off of your first roll, and then you can get 2 additional rolls. So you can get 30% mana back, like that, dude. Really important that you get this. So with all these builds, every single one of them, the very, very first thing you want to be shooting for, because it's so essential, is 200 intelligence. And this will come with gear too, right? So this thing is not letting me put all the points here because there's a cap. But when you're wearing gear and stuff, you're going to be able to get this. Very first thing you need to do, hit that. After you hit 200 intelligence, I don't really care what you do. You can go further down the line if you like. Me personally, I like a more balanced. So I'm going to hit this, and then I'm going to put the rest in the Constitution because I PvP a lot, and having that extra life, so you're just not getting dead in one hit, is going to be really important. So let's talk about our weapons here. For our first weapon, we're going to talk about the fire staff. This is a mage build after all. For our second one, we're going to do Ice Gauntlet. We're going to do the pure mage build. The next 2 are going to be more hybrids, but we're going to do the pure mage build. For the pure mage build, the first points you want to be adding in is over here. For heavy attacks, restore 5% of your max mana on hit. Mana is going to be a bitch in the beginning, especially before you get that dodge roll mana buff, right? That's why that's important. So you need to do this first. The very first point you're going to put in your fire staff is this one. I don't care how this is going to look down the road if you do something a little bit different or whatever. This is the first point you're going to do. The next one, in my opinion, my personal opinion, you want to do Clear Mind. While above 50% mana, you gain 10% in power. So this is just more damage. There. The first move you really want to get to is Fireball. Now, people do this different ways. For me personally, I like to get all my moves set in stone first, and then I like to build up the perks. I like having buttons to press. This is the only move we're going to take from this tree. Next, we're going to be working down this line. We're going to be taking this, Pyromania. While holding a fire staff and below 50% max health, damage increased by 20%. This is important because this is your do or die here. In PvP, you're going to find yourself under 50%. Quite a bit. Being able to get that extra damage and finish people off before they kill you, really important. Not only that, flamethrower sucks. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think it's good for PvE. I'm a PvP player, so I kind of like build my builds around thinking about my engagements with people. But they're also good in PvE also. So I'd skip that one. Next move is we're going to go Incinerate. This does like a fiery explosion around your body. This is a great finisher move. Next, as we go down the line, we're going to go Burnout. Burnout is my favorite mage ability in the game. A lot of people sleep on this ability. A lot of people don't think it's very good, but this ability has so much value. I think it's actually essential to a proper mage build because you don't want people to touch you as a mage, right? So mobility is going to be key. Burnout is a way to engage. It's a way to disengage, and it's a way to do damage. You dash through your targets, dealing damage, and passing through a target will catch the target on fire, applying a burn that deals 10% weapon damage. So that's what I would do first. In the very beginning, this is what your early game mage build is going to look like. You're going to first point here, get your fireball, get your incinerate, get your burnout. Now you got your moves. From here, we can build these out a little bit more. Like I said, I like to do my abilities first, so I'm going to be finishing off these abilities with fireball. You're going to get your Scorched Earth, creates a burning field that persists for 9 seconds. This is a great tool for spacing. You can throw a fireball directly at a person and hurt them, right? But you're also creating that space on the ground where they don't want to walk through the flames. It gives you something to dance around, create a little bit of spacing. Catch. This is when you do a direct hit, okay? Onto somebody. Your cooldowns are going to reduce when you hit people. It's just, you know, well, icing on the cake. It's pretty good. Next here, I don't actually like to work on my Incinerate first. I think that, like, most people will probably want to do this first because it's a good finishing ability. I'm about mobility, though, and there's a lot of freaking running in this game. So anything I can do to help me move faster, get through the game quicker is what I'm going to do. So that's why on Burnout, I'm going to go all in first. Fire staff skills are reduced by 5% for each foe hit by Burnout, which means I can be using Burnout more. And heat it up. Burnout goes 50% further, so you're going twice as far with Burnout. Like I said, great engagement, great disengagement tools here. Next, guys, this is what we need to look at. We're going to be looking into Incinerate. We're going to be doing the Scorched Earth, all right, guys? So with our Scorched, so with Incinerate, this is your finishing move. With Scorch, each hit an additional stack of burning, which is great. Cauterize wounds, restores 20% of Incinerate damage dealt as health, restores a little bit of health back. I never really found this to be crazy useful, to be honest with you, as like a way to heal myself, but it can't hurt. What you really want in this tree, though, is the Flame Out, where it hits twice. This is how you're finishing people off. As soon as you get a perk in here, you're going to see that, like, pretty much anybody about under, like, 20% life, what I do is, anybody under 20% life, I engage with the Burnout to get right up in their face, and then I pop the Incinerate, finish them off. Just kill them right then and there. From there, we're really just messing with perks. The way I kind of like to do the perks is based around the burning, but there's other ways to do this. So with perks, I kind of like shoot for things like, you know, the Kindle, burning lasts 20% longer, Trial by Fire. When you're struck, create a field of fire around you, dealing 5% damage, like in a radius. Combat speed is great anytime you can move around and be nimble. That's what you need to do for a mage. So I'd be playing around with the perks like that, but like those are your main abilities you want. let's look at the Ice Gauntlet and how that's going to pair in this build, though. So early on, like we discussed, mana is a bitch for a mage. That's just how it is. You're going to be popping mana potions left and right. In my quick start guide we're going to be going on with later in the stream after we do these builds, we're going to discuss mana potions and stuff in the quick start guide because they're going to be really important for a mage build. But aside from mana potions, popping those like crazy, just like we did with the heavy attacks, restore 5% max health on hit. The very, very, very perk. I don't care what you do. You follow my build, you don't do my build, whatever you do. But if you're going to play the Ice Gauntlet, the very first point you put in is critical rejuvenation. For any build you do. Any build. Recover 15 mana after triggering a critical hit on target. Why can't I talk right now? Let me take a sip of water. Let me take a sip of water. Hey, thank you for following, Ghost. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, bro. So yeah, so we're going to put this perk here. First thing you do. Next thing, we're going for Ice Storm. This is your bread and butter. Hey, evening, Ghost. How you doing, man? How's life? So yeah, Ice Storm is going to be your bread and butter ability, right? This is the reason you take the Ice Gauntlet, is this. If you're not using this and you're using the Ice Gauntlet, you're doing it wrong. So, just like with the fire stuff, I like to get all my buttons first. I like to push buttons. My next move is, a lot of people don't like this move. I think it's great. Ice Pylon. And I'll tell you why this move is great and why people are wrong about this move, because they're not thinking about this move in the right way. We'll get to that in just a second here. So we're going to go with the Ice Pylon. And then I like to put my points into it. Oh, I like my points down into here and get my Entombed. Entombed, amazing ability. So freaking strong because you entomb your... So if you don't know what it is, wishing the weekend... Yeah, me too. Dude, I'm so excited to get into a new world. I can hardly sleep at night. I just keep on like thinking about it. Just like... I'm stoked. Yeah, I'll be doing a 24 hours stream come Tuesday. Oh, you did yours like this too? Yeah. It's so strong. It's so strong. So Entombed, amazing ability. So if the people don't know, it just encases you like in this block of ice. So nothing can hurt you. Meanwhile, your mana regenerates like crazy. So this is good for PvP because like if you're doing like a group PvP scenario, and you get jumped, you could just ice block, and so now they're gonna disengage off of you and have to like maybe fight one of your tanks. You pop out of it and you're able to continue the battle. The worst thing as a mage is just getting jumped on because you're gonna die really, really quickly if you get jumped on by like a great axe user or something like that. Right? So Entomb is gonna save your life. Part 2 though, PvE. Oh my gosh, this is like such a great PvE tool because here's how I like to do it personally. When the way I PvE, I grab like 6 or 7 mobs at the same time. I do like the whole crowd thing. I grab so many mobs at the same time, burn them down with the area of effect spells. I use the Ice Storm usually to open up to pull them in, right? You got the Fireball, which is more area damage. I'll go through a bunch of guys with burnout and they all are set on fire. You know, I'll pop an Incinerate on them, go back to this one over here, and usually they're just about to die, right? They're maybe like 10% health, 20% health. Entomb. Boom. Encase myself in Entomb. You put the perks in here, right? So with Entomb, you can just jump out of it normally, or if you do the right click, I think it is, it explodes. And it will kill them a lot of times. So you got like these really weak, like 6 or 7 skeletons beating on you, and you just regenerated all your mana back up to full health. And then you explode, finish them off, you're back at full mana, and you're ready to do it again. Like, there's no downtime for fighting like, 6, 7 mobs at the same time when you have Entomb with you. It's so incredibly strong and versatile. Next, we're going to talk about, like I said, I like putting all my points into these things first. The next one I would go for... In fact, I probably wouldn't put these in there first. I just get the Entomb ability. These are okay. These are more like PvP things. But I would actually be putting things into the Ice Storm first, as far as your perks go. Incoming damage increased by 10% for 3 seconds to enemies in Ice Storm below 50% health. It's great. Ice Storm mana cost is reduced by 80% at full mana. This is why you open with Ice Storm, by the way, is this perk, is because the ability costs a lot of mana, right? But when you open up with it and you have this perk, it greatly reduces what it costs. That's why you open up with it, straight up. In fact, what's even amazing, what you can do is you can pop, if you go into Entomb, go to full mana, as if you don't do the breaking ability where you like hurt people, which costs a little bit of mana, you can actually do the Ice Storm instead directly out of the Entomb and just plop an Ice Storm at your feet, and that's a great alternative too. It's really strong. Punishing Storm, increased damage by 10% for each enemy in Ice Storm. Just, you know, just icing on the cake. Next, what I'd be going for is, and this is the controversial one, a lot of people don't like this ability, but they don't understand this ability, and I'm going to tell you why. Ice Pylon. We're going to put all the points here in Ice Pylon. People think Ice Pylon is just about the pylon and what damage the pylon can do, like it's a pet. You're thinking about this ability in the completely wrong way. This ability is about creating a zone in which you are safe and in which it's your territory. Like, no one can hurt you here. How does it do this? These abilities. Dodging with full stamina increases Ice Pylon rate of fire by 3%. Successful hit extends Ice Pylon's lifetime. Ultimate Frost. Doubles Ice Pylon's health and extends Ice Pylon's frost radius to 5%. Standing in this area doubles Quick Frost and Empowered Frost bonuses. When you have Ice Pylon up, you want to be standing next to it. You want to be standing around in this area, because this is where you're going to be safe. People aren't going to want to mess with you inside of this, especially if you pop this and you pop a Blizzard. You've created so much space to where they can't do anything to you. So anyways, that's my Pure Mage build. Next up, my second build that I really, really love. We're actually going to keep everything the same here. So with this one, we're going to go for the second weapon. We're going to go with the Rapier. This is your high mobility build. This is like your like one of the fastest ways to get around the game. This is actually the build that I'm going to be running on day one, at least in the beginning. I think once I reach, personally for me, once you reach level 60, I'm going to be going into a pure mage build. But up until that time, I'm going to be running this build with the Rapier because it's just quicker to get around. We're going to be focusing mostly into the Grace Tree. And our main abilities here are really, you know, we just go down here, tag our abilities like we do. All three of these, amazing. The thing that I really love about this, though, is the Flesh ability. So this is a way that your character, he like dashes forward and through people. You leave the ground lunging and in a stabbing motion, piercing through enemies. Then if you're killing with this ability, it reduces its cooldown by 80%, so you can use it a lot. After performing Flesh, your next critical strike attack will have its damage increased by 15%. Interruption. Pressing light attack anytime during Flesh will stop and perform a static continuation attack, dealing 150%. I don't like this ability. I don't take it. Or that perk. I don't take it. But I'll tell you why this is good. Because you have Flesh and you have Burnout. Now you have two mobility options that actually do the same exact thing. You can cycle them. So what you can essentially do is you can like dodge roll, burn out through a guy one way. You He turns around, he starts running at you. Now, you pull out your rapier, do flesh the other way straight through him. Pass through him again. Dodge roll, get some space, you know? Maybe throw a fireball at him or something like that. He's still chasing you. Let's, you know, burn out him again. Run through him again with burnout. Like, you're just like running through the guy back and forth. Or if you get into trouble, like say, you know, there's just too many guys. You got like a horde of guys chasing after you. Dodge roll, burn out, you know, dodge roll, flesh. Cycle that back and forth, and you can create tons of distance. Just be like, choo, just high mobility. It's going to be great, especially when you're like questing and stuff, and you're just trying to get through the world. You know, just be running down the road. Just be like, just keep dashing and get through the, you know, where you need to go. Evade's great. This is just a way to dance around areas or dance around people and dodge. I don't really use this to attack so much. I use this just to create space. Riposte, this is your counter ability. So this is actually really strong against Great Axe users, because I don't know what it is about Great Axe users, but Great Axe users don't block, like, ever. I know that's probably going to change as people get better at the game, but don't know what to tell you. Great Axe users, they usually don't block. They usually just spam their buttons and click. Same with hatchet users. It's just, don't know what to tell you. That's just what they do. They're button mashing players, in my experience. Riposte is going to kill these people every time. They're just going to walk right into it. If you don't know what Riposte does, it's you basically like stick your sword out there, and when if they hit you while you're sticking your sword out there, you do a counterattack that does a lot of damage. In fact, it's so good that when you do that counterattack, not only are you going to stun them, and you become briefly invulnerable, so now you can create space and get away. Right? Not only that, your riposte is triggered successfully. All your attacks become uninterruptible. Now, why is that good? Because you can riposte, animation cancel to incinerate, finish him off. So yeah, that's that build. I think it's really strong. It's the way I would play it. Next, we're going to do something completely different. This one is a really, really fun build. And it's not going to be meta. But this is the build you do. You know, you've been playing Mage for a while. You know, you got your Fire Staff, you got your Ice Gauntlet, maybe you play with a little bit of Rapier, and you're like, one day, you know, I don't want to switch up my gear. I just want to switch up my weapons. Just want to do something just a little bit different because it's fun. This is what you're going to do. You didn't go Ice Gauntlet. And so for your second one, you're going to go Musket. You're going to be a Mage sniper. I love this build so much. I PvP'd a lot with this build in the beta. And I had to earn my kills. I'm not going to lie. I had to work hard and earn my kills, but it was satisfactory with just like the way it played out. So what we're going to do here for this one, of course, Ice Storm is your bread and butter. Or no, go here, critical rejuvenation, first point every time. You can go Ice Storm. And then from here, we're actually going to not do Ice Pylon. Instead, you're going to do the Quick Frost. So you're moving quicker. You're going to do the Ice Shower to keep people in their tracks. And then you're going to do the Entomb. This is all defensive spacing abilities. This is to make space for your musket. Okay? So you're just going to put all the points down in here as you go, as you like. You can figure that out as you play. You're smart people. We kind of went over all these abilities in the Ice Storm, but just quickly here with the Ice Shower, since we didn't do that one, this just creates like a curtain of ice and just like roots people in that curtain of ice. And what's cool is you can be like running and then like, so you don't have to like look at them, right? You can just be like running and like whoosh, and like keep on running, and they'll be chasing you and they'll just get like stuck. So for 2, we're gonna go with our musket. Now, this is how I like to play it. I go full on sharpshooter. Full on Sharpshooter. Makes me feel like I'm playing Call of Duty. Especially once you get this. The reason why you're going full on sharpshooter is because you get this 3 times zoom down your scope. And you're playing Call of Duty now. These abilities, they're kind of, I gotta be honest with you. I don't really like the Musket's abilities. I think they're kind of just, meh. Power shot, basically just like a stronger bullet, which is, you know, okay. It's okay. Powder burn is probably the best ability in the 3 here. Overload musket with gunpowder, and it causes a dot. As powder burn is a headshot. I mean, good luck. Extend burn duration. That's kind of the reason why musket is kind of sucks, is because you need to like be hitting headshots, or you're not going to hit this as consistent as you think you are unless you're Shroud. Shooter stance. This makes you vulnerable because you're not moving, but it's good in like wars or, you know, medium, large scale PvP encounters. You're gonna be you're the sharpshooter. You're gonna be standing back, so it's fine. That's the way I would go with this. This is a fun build. It's fun to lay down in a bush and snipe people, and then when they get up close to you, you pop out your ice gauntlet, you slow them down, you make some space, you turn on them, and you take more shots at them. That's pretty much all it is. It's all right. It's okay, but it's fun. Anyways, that's my top 3 Mage builds. That's my 3 that I played extensively. I loved it. I love the Mage.